Hello there, this is David Jeunesse for another David's Directions video. I had to apologize because I missed last week in creating a video because of a lot of things going on and a lot of good things, but even still I kind of fell down on my commitment to make a video every week. So I'm going to kind of catch up on that. And so I want to talk to you today about making a plan and working that plan. Part of that plan for me was to make a video every week, and so I fell off of that plan a little bit, but I'm still in it, still going, and maybe some other time we can talk about building habits, as I'm trying to do with making more frequent videos. So this one in particular, I want to talk about how it's great to be involved in having a definite plan. Now we can all plan about some things, or we can just kind of bump along in life. And it got me to thinking about how it's important to make a plan when I recently read a National Geographic article about a guy named Alex Honnold. Now I don't know if you've ever heard of Alex Honnold, but he is a superstar in the rock climbing world, so he is very well known, and he has achieved elite status in the climbing world. And he burst on the scene a few years ago and made himself famous as what's called a free soloist. A free soloist, a lot of us would think this is pretty crazy, about someone who climbs difficult rock faces without equipment. And so all you have to keep yourself from successfully climbing up to the top of the cliff face and a horrible death is just the strength of your fingers and your toe holds and your own physical stamina. And so Honnold actually made a name for himself of being a very skilled free soloist, climbing without ropes or equipment. And he really established himself as a superstar when going on not quite 2 years ago in June in 2017, he scaled the face of El Capitan in Yosemite National Park in the United States. All he had on as far as equipment was a little bag with the chalk that he could keep his fingers dry, and specialized shoes with sticky foot pads, and himself, his well-trained muscles, and the ability to keep fear at bay, and that was all he had. And so he did this amazing thing without a whole lot of people knowing that he was planning. He had a bunch of friends, and one of them was a filmmaker. And in fact, it was last year that the filmmaker won an Academy Award for a short documentary film in documenting what Honnold had done. But the question I want to ask is the whole idea that how did he do this amazing feat of climbing this cliff face that's something like over 1,000 meters, something like 3,300 or more feet from bottom to the top. He did this amazingly in just about 3 hours. You got to understand the difficulty of this cliff face. This is a cliff face that ordinary climbers using equipment might take 2 days to do. So they would climb up part way, and then they would strap themselves off, and then they would spend the night hanging on the cliff face before they would finish. And Honnold actually startled one such climber who was sleeping on the cliff face, who had gone up so far and then stopped. And Honnold did it in just a few hours. And so the question is, how did he do that? Well, did he get up one morning and say, I'm going to climb the El Capitan and I'm going to use this route. I'm going to do that. He just got up and do it, right? No, he actually had spent 5 years from the time he first decided he wanted to do this. And he practiced and planned and strategized for as much as 5 years in advance. He had a plan. He worked out every day, and he did a lot of things like where he would hang on to something for an hour and a half just to strengthen his fingers. And so he's known for having extremely strong fingers, finger muscles, so that he can actually hold his whole body weight by just the tips of his fingers. He did a lot of climbing on Yosemite as well as other parts of the world, honing his skills. And what really impressed me about the plan that Honnold had made is that he broke down the climb into all sorts of different sections. So he would climb a little bit and then examine it, and he memorized all of the different little fingered handholds, and he memorized the different acrobatic maneuvers he would have to make. Like some of them were funny, like a karate kick type movement of his leg. Other times he would have to do a certain kind of climbing maneuver, and he memorized all of those things. And over the years of training and strategizing, he worked out all of these different places in meticulous detail. So each section of the climb that he had broken down into small parts so that he knew what to do when it became the right day to climb. And so to me, that's an amazing thing. But although I would never want to try something like that, I'm not recommending that any of you watching this video try something like that. But I see this sort of as a metaphor, if you bear with me, that we all have our rock faces to climb in life, don't we? We all are trying to accomplish various things, or we all have goals or dreams to do certain things. And the question is, how are we going to make it to the top? How are we going to get from the bottom of the valley to the heights of our success? How are we going to do that? Well, whatever the cliff that's in your life, you need to ask yourself, what is my plan to get to the top? You know, for us, what could they be? Maybe it's get out of financial debt and achieve that financial freedom, that time freedom. Maybe it's a new business venture, and there's a certain learning curve that you're going to have to accomplish. Maybe you are injured or something, and you need to recover from that injury and go through the therapy and all that. And maybe it's the repair of a personal relationship that's gone bad, and you want to reestablish that relationship. And what might it be? So how are you going to get there? What kind of plan are you making? You know, to scale the cliffs that are in front of us, we may need to, make some kind of a difficult lifestyle change to get it done. So get rid of some bad habits. Maybe we might have to budget our money to incrementally pay for the things we need, whether it be education or some equipment or some training or hire a coach or whatever it might be. Maybe we might need to give up certain friendship associations and gain new friends that might be more helpful for us. So move away from the toxic relationships and move toward the ones that feed our life and are congruent with our goals. So we may need to pursue additional education. It might be that there's certain things just don't know or understand, and I'm going to need to get more training in this area. We may need extensive training to learn the skills that will go along with meeting our goal. Whatever it might be, how are you going to do it? What kind of plan do you have? So, whatever it might be, you write down what those ideas are, those plans, and you break it down into small increments. Sometimes you would need to practice and go back over certain things, and I didn't quite get that, so go back and master it. And then you keep on going. You keep on persisting, step by step, goal by goal, and then before you know it, you'll be making progress to the top of your life cliff face. And you can do it. It can be done if you have a plan. If you have a plan. So what is your plan? What is your plan to success? Do you have a plan? Do you need help in creating a plan? Do you need guidance in working it out and working through it? Well, I tell you what, I'm working on some goals, and I'm working on a plan. I have a plan, and I've been continue to develop that plan. I have coaches and people who are helping me, and I'm trying to surround myself with the people that help me reach that goal. And I'm discerning about where I am going, and I have a plan, and I'm working that plan. So I ask you, do you have a plan? And if you do, I would really appreciate hearing a little bit about it, to take a moment and write about what your plan is and what you're doing. And if you need help with a plan, comment below this video, and as I post it in place, reply back and ask for what I'm doing. Maybe the plan I'm following will help you too. And so comment plan below, and I'll be glad to share with you what I'm doing, and maybe we can climb this cliff face together. Thank you for listening to this video, David's Directions, and I'm very glad to be able to share this little bit that I learned about Alex Honnold and his incredible plan to free scale the cliff face in Yosemite. And gosh, I don't think I know I won't. I don't think any of you watching will ever do something like that. But we all have our own cliff face to climb. And if you want to climb with me and want to help with your plan, give me a shout out, and we can work this together. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening to another David's Directions. Be well. Enjoy the climb. Bye.